All right, you guys. So we are going to be looking at two-step equations. Now, two-step equations, multi-step equations, as we start building this process, okay, you're going to have to make some decisions on your own that may be different than the sample problem that I have put out for you, okay? You're going to come to discover that as you get more comfortable with solving equations, that you could have said, hey, I I could have done a different step. Is that okay? And absolutely, okay? As long as you are following your opposite operations correctly and you're isolating that variable correctly, we can take different steps, okay? Sometimes, I'll be honest, those steps that you take, I might be able to solve the problem faster, okay? So when I do problems for you as examples, I'm showing you the fastest way to solve the problem, okay? It's not what do I say? It's not wrong for you to have more steps than me, okay? As long as we have the same final answer, that's all that matters, okay? And that we also too, we show our work because we want to prove that we do know how to do the problem. Okay, so let's jump right in here. So I got 45 equals 5t plus 45. All right, so just like I was doing one-step equations, okay, I'm going to show that I have a left side and I have a right side, okay? So I've got 45 equals 5t plus 45. My goal is to isolate this variable right here. So I need to get t by itself. Now, some of you maybe think, okay, well, let's just jump right in here and get rid of this 5. We can't do that, okay? We have to get t by itself, which means we have to get 5t by itself. So I have to get this whole term by itself. So if I were to just cover it up and pretend there was a t underneath, okay, so let's just pretend for a moment there's not a 5 there, there's just a t that's underneath my finger, okay? I have a plus 45. So the opposite operation of plus 45 is minus. So I'm going to subtract 45 from both sides. So minus 45 minus 45. So 45 minus 45, well, I know that eliminates, but I can't leave it blank over here. Well, it eliminates because it equals 0. So 0 equals, I'm going to bring down the 5t, and then 45 minus 45, well, that eliminates, but it eliminates because it equals 0. All right, so now I have 0 equals 5t. Okay, don't panic. Okay, it's okay that we have zeros in our problem. Okay, so now I need to get t by itself. So now, okay, I'm going to divide by 5 because it was 5 times t, and the opposite of times is division. So I'm going to divide by 5. So if I were to make my wall, I'm going to extend it here, equals, well, 5 over 5. That eliminates, or it equals 1, so I'm left with t. Well, now I have 0 divided by 5. Well, 0 divided by 5 is 0. That's fine. So I got t equals 0. Nothing wrong with that. It is okay that our final answer equals 0. So if I go over here, 0, hit submit, yes, green check. Okay. All right, so let's solve another one. Example 48 equals 56 plus 8b. All right, so just like this last problem, there's my left and my right side, okay? And I'm trying to get b by itself. So I'm trying to isolate b, which means I have to get 8b. I have to get this whole thing by itself, which means I got to deal with this 56, okay? I have to decide if I'm going to add or subtract that 56. Now remember, it's the operation in front, okay? When there's nothing in front of 56, it is understood to be positive. So that means the opposite of plus 56 is minus 56 from both sides. Okay? All right, so now 48 minus 56. Now remember, I told you it's perfectly okay for you to use a calculator. Okay? It's better if you get into the habit of using it every once in a while because remember, it's calculator inactive on part of your Math 1 exam. All right, so 48 minus 56 is -8. Equals 56 minus 56 eliminates because that equals 0. Then I'm going to bring down 8b. All right, so this is 8 times b, and I got to get b by itself. So the opposite is to divide by 8. Divide by 8. All right, -8 divided by 8 is -1. The 8's cancel or eliminate, and I'm left with b. So b equals -1. Okay, so if I type that in, submit, yes, green check. All right, this will be our last problem for this video. So 50 equals -10t plus 80. All right, so same thing. All right, so I've got to get t by itself, which means I got to get -10t by itself. So if I just cover it up, okay, I've got this plus 80. So that means I need to subtract 80 from the left side and the right side. So notice I did not put minus 80 here. Okay, I'm clearly putting it on the other side of my wall. Okay, so 50 minus 80, well, that's -30, equals, bring down the -10t, no change to it, and 80 minus 80 eliminates because that equals 0. All right, so now I'm left with -30 equals -10t. So I need to get t by itself. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide by -10, divide by -10. So -30 divided by -10 is 3 equals, the -10's cancel, t. So t equals +3. Okay? Now, here's the part where I wish we were face to face, okay, and we were in person, because this is one of those things I would love to be able to fix those mistakes immediately, okay, while you were solving the problem, rather than you potentially solving the problem and then having to wait, a few hours to get feedback, okay? The biggest thing that I see when students are doing these problems is what I was talking about here when they write -80, okay? And they write -80 under the -10t, okay? That's why I really encourage students to draw this wall, especially if you're struggling with it and you're not getting the correct answer, okay? Is taking that -80 and making sure you write it on the other side and writing -80, okay? And then making sure you subtract, okay? But the plus side of it too, this is where I really like Delta Math, because you at least are getting immediate feedback if you got the problem wrong, okay? And what I'm hoping that you're doing is that even though you may not be able to reattempt this problem, because I think you're set up for 2 attempts, okay? You are trying to go back and figure out your mistake, okay? So if you do need, okay, additional assistance, remind or email. I'm happy to help, okay? I'm here to help you, okay? Because I'm going to tell you right now, after today, these problems, for some of you, they do significantly get more different and they get more difficult because there's just things added into them. There's parentheses and other things added into them that maybe you weren't entirely comfortable with, okay? All right. Good luck, you guys.